This is Lee with 82 Game and 12 here on YouTube channel Sunsliver 75. We are starting a playthrough of Musket and Pike. I've done some of these, but it's been a long time, and it's about time I get back to playing a little Musket and Pike. The second dual pack should be coming out eventually. Just have to wait to see how that transgresses. So we are refighting the Battle of Nordlingen between the Swedes and the Imperial Spanish Army. So we've got King Ferdinand, and then we've got Horn. Now, the thing is with this battle, we actually have two leaders on each side, army commanders. We've got, pull back here now. All right, so the Swedes will be the units over here, the light blue. And so we've got Bernhard here with a -2. That's a good rating for a commander. And then we have Horn. Okay, right here he's got a -1. So Horn has the right wing, and Bernhard has the left wing. And the way they worked was much like the Romans did, where you would have two councils, and you'd have one that had command at one time, and then the next one would have full command, and it just went back and forth. And so that's what you had going on here. Now with the Spanish, we've got some Croats, and we've got some, I believe, Saxons. We've got Spanish units. And let's see here. Coloring here. Well, that was the Imperials. The red, or I call it orange, but they call it red. So there we go. Now, we've got some special rules. Of course, historically, the Swedes were on the offensive, and they were wanting to take this high ground here. The Albrook or Albuch. I think it's more like a book. Albuch, Albuch, Albruch. And they are going to fail. Historically, they failed. Now, we'll see what happens. And because of their failure, France got involved because of their dislike for the Spanish. So okay, so let's just look at the Swedish forces. So they've got two army commanders. So when either right wing infantry or cavalry is activated, horn is activated. When the left wing infantry or cavalry, then Bernhardt is activated. If either is lost, then the other is activated with every wing activation. If both are lost, there is no replacement. So the Swedish army moved into position under cover of darkness in close proximity, but where there is flexibility in the setup, they may start adjacent, and then they may not start adjacent. So they couldn't start adjacent. And the Swedes all have charge orders, so that's going to force them to move. You don't have much control there. They're going to have to move toward the closest enemy that's not already adjacent to a friendly unit. So, and let's see here, the Spanish, okay, Imperial Spanish forces have 2 army commanders. When a wing commander is activated, roll to see which overall commander is activated that phase. 0 to 4, King Ferdinand. 5 to 6, Cardinal Infanta. King Ferdinand may only assist Imperial and Catholic League units and leaders, and Cardinal Infanta may only assist Spanish units and leaders. So, and you may say, well, where are these guys at? Well, so Infanta is right here. And so he's got the Spanish units, which are the yellow. And these here are, of course, Imperial. These here are Spanish. And the units underneath these artillery pieces are Spanish. This over here is all Imperial. These here, I believe, those are Saxon units. But they are still, let's see, gray. Oh, well, it says Catholic League Bavarians, is what it says. So they're Bavarians, Catholic League. So, but they would fall under, I don't know why they have these 3 over here. If they're not commanded by this guy. Well, let's see, those three units. Let's just close into them. Okay, so those 3 units, they're right where Infanta's at. They're part of the center. Well, they're going to be under command of Gotz. And here's Gotz right here. So, okay, I guess they fall under here, so it's kind of vague whether or not he's got, he can do anything with them or not. It says King Ferdinand may only assist Imperial and Catholic League units. Cardinal Infante may only assist Spanish units and leaders. So he can't affect, Infante can't affect Gotz, although Gotz is in command of these units. Kind of odd. So we have that. Okay, then we go over to special rules. Okay, so all the slopes are steep slopes. Retreat hexes, Swedish, west and south, which it's going to be behind them. Imperial, east of the map. So, senior wing commanders. Uh, let's see. Imperial Spanish Gaius for King Ferdinand. Leonis for Ferdinand Cardinal Infante. Now, here he is right here. But I don't know that he doesn't have command of these units. This guy does. He's second in command. So, let's see what it says here about the yeah, we've already got the other two leaders figured out. So, okay, so next we look here, we've got salvo fire. Okay, Army of Flanders units may not use salvo fire, and that's going to be, I think that's all of the yellow units. Let's see. Well, maybe it's not all of them. Well, yeah, I think it is. Let's see. Yeah, I believe it's going to be all of the yellow units. Okay, infantry, heavy infantry units. Okay, and let's see what else we've got here. We've got the independent Croat wing. When the Croat wing is activated, the Imperial Spanish overall commander is not activated. So, and then Swedish counter salvo drill. 2 Spanish tercios had practiced a special drill to limit the impact of the Swedish salvo. So when they fire on these units, you roll a die to see if there's any kind of change. And then we did add these 5 units from Rheingraf Otto Ludwig's forces. They arrived, I think, 2 days late, so I went ahead and added them in. And so start time is 6:40 a.m. We've got 12 turns. And then, of course, we are using the historical orders. The Swedes, well, let's see. Well, okay. Only the right wing is under charge orders. The left wing is under make ready. And then the Imperial Spanish is receive charge. So, all right. Now, since the Swedes are the only ones with units that are charging, we will only, well, they're not going to have the initiative. Is what that means. So, and we're going to start over here. Rostein. They have charge orders. Units must attempt to end its activation at least 1 hex closer to the closest unengaged enemy unit. It may not undertake a reform or rally action. So, now, musketeers, light infantry, do not have to commit suicide by rushing in to attack some of these units. But what's facing them is cavalry. And so we're going to have a lot of inception activities going on here. So And the thing is that they can move together here. Okay, so these units, they're going to move to here. Okay, and when they do, okay, this unit here is going to attempt to intercept. Okay, so we go to the intercept table. Okay. And so this is what we're looking at. And so they are under received charge. So we've got to get a 0 to 3. And there's not going to be any modifiers here. They have a 7. They don't have an 8. So no modifiers, just straight up roll. And I got a 4. So they did not intercept. And so we have to put a interception done marker. They weren't able to intercept. And then this unit here can attempt to intercept. Okay. And he has a 6, so he will have to add +1 on here. So maybe we don't. Well, it doesn't really matter. We can still do it. But the chances are probably of being able to do anything there is probably not. We rolled a 4, so again, they're not able to do an interception either. Okay, so we'll go ahead with what these guys are doing which is they're coming in here to attack. So I guess they chose to try to do an inception instead of firing. They could have fired, but they chose not to. So now this unit can't fire because they moved. This unit can fire with the pistols. So we're firing from here to here. So this is no? Let's see. Yeah, that's the target. One that's got that had the inception marker. So that's who we're firing at. Okay, and so we'll put the cavalry unit on top for now. All right, so then we look at the fire table. Okay, and so this is what we've got. And modifiers, I don't see any modifiers. Okay, so dragoons, +1 for each strength point. Cavalry, +1 for each strength point that's greater than 3. Each strength point less than 3. So this is cavalry units here. And we have a strength of 5. So that means it'll be a +2. So to get a +2. Wow. Let's go with this one. Well, I'd actually be rolling this one. Ooh, we got a 9. +2 is an 11. So that's going to be a hit. on this unit. So this unit takes a hit. Okay. And we'll have to check to see if they have to check for morale. We got to use a pistol, first pistol used. Okay. Okay, so this unit here is going to move here. And this unit here, so basically he would move to here. And this unit here could actually, he can still fire. So, I did with my little blocks. I prefer to have my little blocks. All right, so got that unit. And then we've got this unit here. But we also have this unit here who could fire. Oh, and I needed to check to see if that unit, they took fire. So we have to check to see if they have to check morale. Let's see. Let's see. They got Inception. Do they have it on more than one place? No, this not. Okay, so look at their morale. Their morale is 7. Okay, their original strength was 5. Okay. So their casualty threshold is at 3. So they're at 4 right now. So it's only on salvo fire, I think, is an automatic morale check. And it's like, where's the morale? Where's the morale? I guess I don't see a morale table here anywhere. Or the modifiers. Let's see. Well, there's morale check. Okay, morale levels. So we got to look at 10.62. Okay. Okay. Okay, current unit morale of 6 or less. 1 morale check on any casualty hit result during fire combat. Okay. So they have a morale of 7, though. Okay, so it takes 2 or more casualty hits from one fire combat. Okay. All right, so there we go. Okay. So now we've got, they can use pistols, even though their inception's done. They can use pistols to fire here. So this unit here will fire on this unit. Okay, so light infantry. They have a, okay, they have a strength of 4 now. They've lost 1. So that's going to be a +1 to their die roll. 6 + 1 is a 7. That's going to be a hit. So that's 1 hit. And we got pistols. That's one thing about this I remember about this game is you've got so many of these markers, these information markers, counters, that you can get some pretty big stacks. Okay, we're done with that one. Now this one here can reaction fire, and he's going to have +2. 0. Okay, +2 is 2 is not enough. But he did lose his pistols. He did fire pistols, so. And then this unit here, can fire pistols. And he's going to fire at this unit. Okay, he's got a strength of 4, so that's going to be a +1. And maybe we need to get a little closer here. These numbers are small. 3 becomes 4, which is not enough. You have to have at least, cavalry have to have at least a 7. Okay. Okay, now it says -3 advancing or retreating fire. So does that apply to the cavalry? I didn't think that applied because they're just using cavalry fire. They're not. Same thing with musketeers. They don't. Oh, I've got reaction fire here that I need to do. Forgot about the reaction fire. Let's see, cavalry pistol fire is not. Okay. They don't have an example where they're showing that. What they're showing is infantry. I'm looking at the, pull back here. I'm looking at the examples for infantry fire and so forth, and cavalry pistol fire. You know, they don't say this is normal infantry fire. Okay, but then you have, for infantry, you have advancing fire, skirmishing, okay, and retreating fire. But see, that's infantry. That's not cavalry. But I guess if the cavalry's moving, if the cavalry's moving, so they have it on this, they have it here, advancing or retreating fire. They could have just any moving. The unit moves -3. So they don't really have much of a chance to hit with a -3. So I guess you still have to apply that though. I get this. I don't know why that's. Let's see if I put it. Maybe if I put it down at a lower level. There we go. I took care of it. I don't think. See over here with the cavalry pistol fire, there is no mention of the -3. Okay. Over here with the advancing fire, okay, and that's under normal infantry fire. So I would think cavalry's under a different class, which they are over here. So you have heavy infantry here, and you have dragoons, light infantry, and cavalry here, which have their separate column. Okay, and so this formation, this advancing retreating fire, that doesn't apply to light infantry.
Unknown caller.
I don't know if the light infantry. I guess they can do moving forward, moving back. Okay, so all three are available to all types of infantry. Okay, so they could have, I could have had these, what happened if I did this? Anything? Oh, yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, I could have had the light infantry here perform the advancing fire. But they have to fire in with the cavalry. So that would have been like increased their strength. Well, no. I think they have to fire separate. No? Let's see what it says. So many questions. Okay, so when they're stacked, accumulate the effects of both fires before implementing any results. Okay. So they're going to fire separately, but you have to just add the total to what they actually accomplish. So, so here this, let's come back over here. So this musketeer would be able to fire, but they're going to have, of course, a -3 for advancing fire. Okay. And since they have to have a 9+, and they've only got a strength of 2, okay, they would get a +1. So even with a 10, they're not going to be effective. So, okay, same thing over here. So, okay, but we did have reaction fire. Okay, so this unit fired here but missed. So this unit fired there, of course. But they would have been able to fire here. Now, I didn't fire them. Maybe they're saving their pistols for the combat they expect to come. So, okay, so this unit fired. And then now this unit here would get to fire, and I guess I did. So, and that's reaction fire. And so this unit here, this unit is going to fire here. So they have a strength of 4, which is going to give a +1. Okay, so they have a +1. Rolled a 1 becomes a 2, so they no effect, and they've used a pistol. Okay, and they've taken a loss. Now this unit here can fire back, and they will. So they're going to fire back. They've got a strength of 5. That's a +2 that this unit has firing here. So 3 becomes +2 is a 5. Oh, no effect. Okay. All right, so they are now pistol empty. All right. So now we move on down the line here. So these guys are going to be formation shaken because they have to go up this slope. They don't have a choice. They have to go. And I'm going to bring this unit here. It's going to go 1 and then flip over because he goes formation shaking going up that slope. And going up that slope is going to be, for cavalry, steep slope. Okay, it's just still a +1. But it's a formation hit. So they take a formation hit. And, of course, this unit can intercept, or they could just reaction fire. And I think they're just going to reaction fire. Of course, this unit can't fire. So this unit here is going to fire here. All right, and so just put it here. All right, so they've got a strength of 5. So that's going to give them a +2. They got an 8 becomes a 10, so that's going to be a hit. Okay. And then we have pistol fire. All right. And then, so this unit here is going to fire their pistols against this target here. So, okay, let's see what we've got here. Their formation shaken, so -1, and they lost 1, so they're at 4, so they get a +1, so just straight up. They get a 3, that's a miss, so now they've used one of their pistols. I think it's best to hold off on your pistols until you're going to perform your shot, combat, melee, whatever. So, all right, so now we move to these units here. So they're moving together. They're going up this slope. I don't think, let's see, light infantry, I don't think it affects their, let's see, light infantry, up slope. Yeah, they don't take a formation hit. It's just the cavalry. So they don't. The cavalry takes the formation hit. Okay, now, either one of these could attempt interception. This one here, inception. Not interception, but inception. 6. With that morale of 6, I don't think it's going to be a +1. Yeah, they're better off just using their pistols and not worrying about trying to do an inception. All right, so we've got this unit here is going to fire here. Got a strength of 5, so that's a +2. 7 becomes a 9. That, of course, is going to be a hit. I'm trying to think. I think you can take the hits to on the light infantry. I got to check into that. Okay, so he fired a pistol. And so the see here. A lot of counters, information counters. Now I think he's going to withhold. He's holding off. Now the musketeer, he's not. He can't be effective because they move. It's a -3. Move and fire is a -3. So he's there mainly for protection. All right, so now we have this guy's already on that slope, so he's going to go in there like that. All right, so this unit here and this unit here can both reaction fire. On this unit that just moved in here. So this unit here will go ahead and he'll go ahead and fire. He's going to get a +2 out of 0. So okay. So now he's going to be pistols no. And then this unit here fires. And he also has a 5. That's a +2. So it's a 5. That's not going to help. And then this unit here can fire. And he's got artillery. He can't solo fire. Okay, so he's firing right there, and he's actually firing into the flank. Surprised there's not something for firing into the flank. Maybe maybe that's a, that could be a morale check, because they get automatic morale check. Let's see. Yeah, I wish they had a chart that had information about the morale, all the modifiers, and when you need to check, and all of that. So let's see, facing, I don't need that. Okay, so we do have this. So we modify the reaction fire die roll by 1 because the cavalry did advance or move 1 hex or more before entering the fire's reaction zone. So, but I'm looking for I guess it doesn't matter. That's not I guess, an issue here. Now there's flank and rear attacks, but not fire. So, okay. All right, so they've got a -1 because this unit moved. Okay. And I guess that's the only modifiers we've got. So it'd be a -1. A 5 becomes a 4. Oh, here we go. There's where it is. Front flank salvo. We're in the flank. That's going to be just a hit. Okay. And then I need to check to see what it is when I've got to check here to see if with this, whether or not you can give one of the casualties to the musketeers. Oh, so the owner's choice, only one of the units takes an inflicted casualty hit. So that's why you want those musketeers there. They can take the hits. Aha. Now, that musketeer though has got to roll for morale, though, because he had a morale of 6, and that would require a morale check. Plus, they've reached the casualty threshold. So that would be a morale check. So that's going to be a +1, which means they are going to fail. They're going to be morale shaken. And when they're stacked together, let's see. Okay, so both units in the stack suffer all formation and morale hits and effects. Okay, the morale rating of the cavalry unit is used for all morale checks, though. So, they wouldn't have to check morale because they're using the morale of that 8. So they only took 1 hit. So, they're good. Okay. So, let's move on along here. Now, all of these guys have to move up. So, he's going to move to there. But first, we're going to have this unit turn and attack right there. And so this unit here gets to fire, but at -1. 4 becomes a 3, but both sides get to fire. That's a 2x unit, so both sides would get to fire. So a 3 is going to be a hit, and then the other one, a 9, that's going to be 2 hits plus a formation hit and a morale check. Plus, so they took 3 total hits. I don't need this. So 3 hits. They take a formation hit. Okay, they've got a morale check. Plus they've reached their casualty threshold. So that'll be a +1. And then they would have to do a morale check because of the number of losses. So they've got a +2. Okay. Rolled a 0, so they're okay. Well, they're not okay. All right. Next, we've got this unit. they go up that slope. This guy, see, he went up that slope. He was here. Okay, so he's actually, okay, he is going to be, so he was formation. Wow, okay. So now he would have, been formation broken. And he would have had to, let's see, he's going to have to retreat. They've got to retreat 2 hexes away from the enemy unit that caused it to become morale broken. All right, so he can actually move here and then here. And that would allow someone else now to move in there. Okay, so he's just going to move 1 hex forward. But they go up that slope. So he turned, that's 1. And then up the slope plus 1 is 2, and then 3. Here, gonna turn, go 1. Formation broken, going up that slope. All right, now he's going to get fired on. By both. With a -1 to both rolls. All right, so we've got a 1. A 2 was rolled -1. It's still a hit. And then we got a 6. -1 is 5. And that's a hit with a formation hit. So that's 2 hits. And I guess we have to check the leader casualty. Where's that at? No effect. Okay. So we got 2 hits. And of course, they are now broken. And they're forced back. 1, 2. Right there. Now what happens if they pass their casualty threshold? Okay, if a unit's morale broken and receive any adverse morale result, treat it as an eliminated result. So, this unit with this leader here is going to be eliminated because they've got a morale of 1. And they passed the casualty threshold. They're not, I don't think they're going to get a 1. Okay, they didn't. All right, so let's see here. Where's the, oh, there's the eliminated units. All right, so that cavalry unit's eliminated. All right, so now we keep going here. Okay, so these guys move up and they flip over. And they're going to be fired on by these units. That's only one side, though. So they got a -1. And oh, well, I guess that front and flank has to do with where they're firing from, out of their front or flank. That doesn't have to do with firing into a target's flank. Okay. I think that this still be front here. So, -1. An 8 becomes a 7. Has 2 hits and a formation hit. Okay, so that unit's going to be formation broken. And let's see, where's the formation? Formation broken. And they took 2 hits. They had a morale of 7, so they've got to check morale. So they passed. Okay. Now, if they fire, this is the thing, if they fire, then these guys can fire back with reaction fire. All right, so here, of course, he's gonna, geez, he's got to. So he moves up that hill, and I guess he'll turn this way. Doesn't really matter. Okay, he's going to be fired on both of these. Both of these guys are going to be able to fire on him. That's the flank. So I don't see him being able to survive this, but okay. It'll be a -1. Okay, so we've got a 9 becomes an 8. That's 2 hits. 2 formation changes, which once you get the formation broken, it counts as hits. So that's now 3 hits. 3 hits, and he only had 3, so that unit's gone. Okay, and then this guy here is part of this other. He's part of the infantry. So we can remove these. Well, maybe I better keep it there. All right, so All right, so this is where we have now our close combat. And so let's see here. Okay, so we're going to attack this unit, and this unit are going to attack here. This unit's attacking here, this unit's attacking, well, wait a minute, no, we can't do that. Okay, here, 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 and then here. And then this unit's just going to stay. He didn't want to attack, he'd be forced to move forward. So he didn't want to do that. Okay. So that's what we've got. Okay. So the inactive player doesn't have any that he's gonna do. So let's go with the close combat. All right. So we've got infantry. Here, the dragoons, the light infantry is ignored. All right, so let's break this down. Close combat matrix, we've got cuirassiers attacking cuirassiers, so that's going to be 0 there. Unable to retreat table, no. Cavalry pursuit, we don't go to that. We don't have any leaders. Okay, the morale differential, we've got 8 to 7, so that's a +1. So right now we've got this +1. So the defending are going to fire a pistol. So now that puts it at 0. And the attacker is going to fire a pistol. So they're both going to use a pistol. So they're going to be no pistols. They're going to be no pistols, and that puts it back to the +1. So we've got a +1. Cavalry momentum. Let's see, cavalry momentum. I think they had to. I had to go so many hexes. Let's see. Two hexes. Okay, they went less than 2 hexes. It was just 1 hex. All right, so we've got a +1. So we roll the dice, and we get a 2. Okay, which becomes a 3. Okay, so attacker morale shaken, retreat 2 hexes, and the defender may advance. They don't want to advance. So they become morale shaken. Okay. And I've got no pistols. And, 2 hexes? So they've got to go back 2 hexes. just like that. Yeah, all these counters would be driving me crazy. All right. Strength ratio. It was 1 to 1. It was 5 to 4. So that didn't matter. All right, so now we go to the next one. He's attacking here. Okay, so we got to lay all this stuff out. So he's got a pistol. He's taking a loss. Okay, this unit here has got no pistols. Okay. All right, so we've got 3 against 5. So that's going to be 1 to 2. That's a -1. So we've got a -1 here to start with. He's going to use a pistol. This guy doesn't have any pistols to use. So he's going to use a pistol. And their morale is the same. So now it's at 0. Okay. Nobody's formation, anything. All right, so we're just at 0. We got a 2. Okay, attacker morale broken. Retreat 2 hexes. Defender may advance into vacated hex. Check for cavalry pursuit. Okay, so we've got to check for cavalry pursuit, but we've got morale broken unit. Okay, so all right. This unit would have to flip over to formation shaken, because if you're involved in close combat, that's what happens. So they would go, okay, formation shaken. And then we have to roll to see if we have a cavalry pursuit. A 7. Pursue and eliminate. Mark pursuer as formation broken. So this unit here, they have pistols. So as this unit moves, goes down that slope, so they pursue and eliminate. So these guys are gone. Both of those units are gone. I think you can kind of ignore the formation thing. I don't, because if he goes down the slope, that's a formation change. He'd have to stop. He'd be formation broken right there. Which means, would he be able to pursue? I gotta look that up. All right, so this unit that had to pursue, they're just picked up and moved to the location of where the unit had retreated to, and at that point, those units were removed, and this unit is now formation broken, and this unit here can fire with those musketeers. They can fire on the unit. Okay, you can only do reaction. Reaction takes place at the end, after the end of the pursuit. So they're here. They move there. They can fire. So they are morale broken. So that's going to be -2. That's so it's this here firing at this unit here. So +1, -2, so -1 is the result. Okay, 0 becomes yeah, no effect. Okay. So let's move around to some of these others now. Okay, so now we've got this unit attacking here, this unit here, and he's still got a pistol. This unit here, however, has taken a loss. So he's at remove that. So what we have, I think I'm affecting these guys behind. All right, so he's attacking here. They're both going to use a pistol. So he'll be pistol no. He'll be pistol no. And we got a -1 because he has a 4 attacking 5, and you round in favor of the defender. So that's a -1. And he's formation shaken. So that is going to be a -1. So now we're at -2. All right. And morale is the same, 7 to 7. So -2. Roll a 2 becomes a 0. Attacker is eliminated. Okay. And defender may advance into the vacated decks. Check for cavalry pursuit. Well, I guess they got to check to see if they're rolled a 4. They break off, so they don't have to pursue. But they are formation shaken. All right. Next we've got this unit taking a loss. And then this unit here is no pistols. All right. He's formation shaken. So that's -1. Strength-wise, it's 2 against 5. Let's see, that's 2 to 1. 1 to, well, I guess it jumped from 1 to 2. Okay, 1 to 2. Well, it's more than 1 to 2. It's going to just jump to 1 to 4. So that's -2 more. So now we're at -3. he's going to fire pistols, so that puts it -2. His morale is 7 to 6, so now it's down to -1. Okay. I've already done formation shaken. Okay, there we go. So it's a -1. Seven becomes 6. Defender morale shaken. Morale shaken. And they're forced back. Retreat 2 hexes. Attacker must advance. Okay. So they go right through these guys. Right? Maybe they can't. Maybe they can't. Stacking, you can't stack. Stacking, you can't. They would just have to take losses. Two cavalry units may stack together momentarily to perform cavalry incorporation. But that's not what they're doing. Units may not move through friendly units during movement, inception, or retreats. Okay, so they can't retreat. They're supposed to retreat 2 hexes, so they've got to take 2 losses instead. Okay. And that puts them at, let's see. Let's see if they're at their, oh. Well, right here it says, unable to retreat table. Oh, that's for a morale broken unit, I think. I don't think that applies here. Let's just look. Yeah, they just take their casual. They just take hits. Okay. So let's see. They have no pistols too. All right. And this unit here can't. Plus, they are also got to flip them over. Their formation shaken. That's broken. Let's see. Broken. Oh, that's broken. Okay, so they're morale shaken. All right, I'll just do it this way. Okay. All right, then we've got one more here. This one here. Stuck in here. All right. So this one here has got one pistol. And this one here, I just stack them like that. But see, guy, he wants to. If I give it to him, if I give the casualty to him, I've got to make a roll. Yeah, we give it to him, and then we make a roll. We got a 1, okay. All right, so what we have here, all right, so we've got 3 against 5, so that's 1 to 2. So we're at -1. They're going to use pistols, so that puts it at -2. Okay, morale difference is 8 to 6, so now we're at 0. They're going to use pistols. Haven't used any pistols yet. So now they're at +1. So we've got a +1. Seven becomes an 8. Okay, defender morale broken. Retreat 2 hexes. Attacker must advance, and you check for cavalry pursuit. So let's see. Okay, so he's broken. Of course, he's got to flip over. Formation shaken. Morale broken. Where are all the other? Okay, flip him over. Morale broken. And no pistols. So 1, 2. So he moves into here. When he does, he gets fired on by that guy. This artillery unit here can fire on him. He's firing out of his flank. Okay. Cavalry unit moved. So that'll be, and of course these guys have to go to formation shaken. -1, 4. That's a hit. And he's going to take it off of this musketeer. Guess he's like that. He's got no pistols. This unit here can fire into here. So they fire. They have a strength of, what do they got? Strength of 3. So, 9 is a hit. And then this stack can fire at their flank here. That would be 9. Okay, so we do have a -1. 3 becomes 2 is a miss. Okay. And then we have to roll for pursuit. And let's see, where's the pursuit at? There it is. Charge order is +1. So we got a +1. 1 becomes 2, break off. Okay. So they just stopped right there. That's probably a good thing. So we've already got quite a few eliminated units over here. Ooh. What I do recall about playing this last time was that it was pretty bloody. You have a lot of casualties, and that could be not necessarily all killed, wounded, but units that just run off. So we've got 4 cavalry units and 2 musketeers, dragoons. So that the Swedes have lost right off the bat. And that's an 8, and a 7, and a 7, and a 7. So, but in close combat, it's that elimination, whether it be the attacker or the defender, can get eliminated. And also with the pursuit. So, cavalry chasing down people that are on the run. So that's just one. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is his pistol. He fired that pistol. So that's just the effects of just one wing being activated. And so the next activation will be the right infantry, which is this group right here.